Do you want to introduce our review of Elvis, Justin?
I
Just wing it.
I'm speechless. Speechless. Yeah, no, recently, so director Baz Luhrmann, man, like he has not been around for a little bit. He did The Great Gatsby, and then he kind of just disappeared. And he decided to come back and bring back, I guess he watched 2 episodes of Hannah Montana, and he saw this guy, and he was like, you know what? Fuck it. He's going to be Elvis. And then after that, he watched the 1960s Batman and said, you know what? What if the Colonel was the Penguin? And then we got Elvis. And somehow with all of that, it is one of my favorite movies of the year.
Wow, I would not have made those connections at all. I have a different story for each one. Yeah, this movie is bizarre. I don't know. It's like it's hard to not like. It's a hard movie to not like because Baz Luhrmann is so good at making the real look like fantasy. Like he did that with Great Gatsby. He did that with Moulin Rouge, Romeo and Juliet. He makes reality look so fantastical, and it's wonderful to see. Like it's hard to not like his movies if you like movies. But the performances are what stood out to me a lot. Like I saw the movie twice, and the first time I saw it was just with people I knew, and the second time I saw it was with someone who was obsessed with Elvis. And she was talking crap. She's like, this guy is not going to be Elvis. He can't play Elvis. Like, it's Elvis. No one can play Elvis. And then she saw the movie and she was blown away. And like toward the end of the movie, they're like, oh, wow, look, they're actually showing the real Elvis. I'm like, no. That's not the real Elvis. That's still Austin Butler. And they were like arguing with me. And they're like, that is Elvis. I'm like, no, you wait. They're going to show Elvis because they have a little montage of the real Elvis at the end. And it's like, she was like, she was so upset that she was wrong. I was like, exactly. Austin Butler put his heart and soul into this movie.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it twice. My buddy and I I'm gonna go see it again. But like, I had no hope for this movie at all. The trailer I did not like the trailer. Like he looks like Austin Butler, like of course. So, damn, he does look like him, but he barely spoke the entire trailer. So that's why I was like, oh, I wonder if he like looks like him. He sings.
Yeah, they're hiding him,
but he
hiding
can't.
The performance.
Yeah. But then, dude, no, like the movie, like I can't tell you the last time I walked out of a movie theater just completely blown away. I think the last time I was with La La Land. The first time I saw La La Land, I was in a theater too, mind you. Like not, I've seen plenty of movies, just in my house too. That recently because of the pandemic and everything that have blown me away. But leaving the theater, my buddy and I, we were just like, we could barely even speak to each other because him and I were just both just like, God damn, that's amazing. And like, of course, they gloss over so many things and like problematic things, but this movie reminded me a lot of Rocketman. If you go in thinking that like Bohemian Rhapsody or like Walk the Line, then you're wrong and you're gonna walk out maybe disappointed. But in my opinion, this is how musical biopics should be, because I think I hate musical biopics. I think it's one of the worst genre because after Walk Hard ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, that's literally what I thought this movie was gonna be. It was gonna be like the real version of a parody that was already made, which was obviously they were parodying Walk the Line, but there's scenes that have Elvis in that movie, who's played by Jack White, which is incredible. I could chop a man in half.
Yeah.
Look at him. That's I love Jack White in that. But Jack White's on the soundtrack too from the White Stripes. He's also on the soundtrack for Elvis. And me and my brother just looked at each other like, what? They got him on this because he played Elvis in Walk Hard, which is funny. But yeah, this movie is really visually pleasing. If you like music, you'll enjoy this. If you like Vegas, you'll enjoy this because I saw it in Vegas. I'm here in Vegas right now. I saw it in Vegas. I saw it opening day Friday, and when it was coming up, there was this older woman. She sounded like she was a lot older because her voice was very raspy. And when the lights went down, she's like, "Who's ready for Elvis?" and everyone
Oh my
started
God.
cheering. And I was like, is this what people feel like? Is this like it's like felt like a Marvel or Star Wars or like an event film where they're, especially in Vegas,
Right.
they're like, wow. And they showed Vegas on the screen and everyone in the theater started cheering. I was like, this is weird. Normally Vegas theaters are not super into the movie like this, like barely even with Marvel movies, but it was Elvis. And so it was really cool to see it that way.
It must have been very disappointing after they made Vegas into Elvis's hell.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is everyone's hell. You just don't realize it until it's too late.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, there's a lot of things with his manager I had no idea about.
Yeah,
and when I was done with the movie, I thought like, well, some of that has to be exaggerated, but really like all the stuff that they did, most of the stuff that they did with the manager really happened to him, and like it's fucking tragic. And like I guess we can spoil it a little bit because I mean like it's really
real,
like
it's history.
Yeah,
it's already happened. People can know.
But I never knew that Elvis never got to travel the world, which is
I didn't either.
Saddest thing
because of how universal he was. He was he never left the country. He never left the country at all.
He couldn't. He was stuck in bullshit contracts, and because of this until the day he died too. Like it's seriously like the ending of this movie broke my fucking heart. I was like, God damn, dude.
It makes you reevaluate everything that he did. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And I'm not even a big Elvis fan too.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
But like it's hard not to like him though, even like with some of the things that, you know, people, you know, that he's done, especially with his dating life and stuff, and they really gloss it over here. You can say whatever you want with that, and yes, it's creepy and weird, but like he was in the end a pretty genuine dude, you know, and he was basically just a big kid. He did not know any better, and he put his entire career in the hands of people that easily can manipulate him and take advantage of him until he starts, you know, and most of them did. It's really sad. It's really, really, really a sad, tragic ending. But instead of it being like you leave the theater like crying, like feeling bad for this dude, Baz Luhrmann does such a great job. This is his best movie, in my opinion. But he just does such a great job with like the editing and like just filming it that in the end, it's still like you're still just like you're like, oh man, but you're like, oh, this is awesome. It's an awesome movie.
It literally makes you want to replay Elvis songs and just appreciate the things that he did. And it made me want to see his movies. Like I haven't seen a single Elvis Presley movie, but it makes sense. I now and like from the perspective of them, like they pumped them out quickly. It was like it kind of makes sense how they're all really corny. And it's really upsetting because he wanted to take his acting career seriously as well. Like obviously, because he's a showman. He was like, I kept thinking this movie should have been called The Greatest Showman because Elvis Presley was insane. But then I was like, oh yeah, Hugh Jackman did that. But still, like, this gives you a newfound or even new or just fresh appreciation of Elvis. I want to talk about the performance though, because the only thing I didn't like about it was Tom Hanks. I did not like Tom Hanks. He's not menacing. He wasn't menacing enough because I was like, I just see Tom Hanks. Like you can put as much prosthetics on him as you want. He's doing something weird. Those prosthetics were terrible too. There's some angles where they're so bad. I feel bad that happened. I don't know how that happened, but no one's talking about Tom Hanks in this movie. Everyone's talking about Austin Butler. He outshines him. Like the beginning of the movie when it's like mainly Tom Hanks. I was kind of like, this is weird. Like this performance is weird. Because I just see Tom Hanks. Once Austin Butler gets there though, it's game over. You don't care about how cheesy his Tom Hanks performance is because everything else about it is absolutely amazing. I kept thinking when I saw the second time, Austin Butler carries Oscar nomination. He puts his entire soul. I think he's gonna win. I don't know. I think he's gonna win too. Top this performance. Everyone's asking, so you ready for your Oscar? And he's just like, ha ha ha, because he knows. He knows he's gonna win.
if he doesn't win, like somebody really has to. Somebody really.
We're only halfway through the year, but yeah,
totally. Someone really has to come in and do something, because I don't know. Like, he is so fucking good in it, and because it's an impossible task too. It's absolutely impossible,
because he's not doing like an impersonation or a characterization. Like, it's not like he's saying thank you very much every scene. He only says thank you very much once in the entire movie, and it's so genuine. It's a genuine moment. They don't stuff all of the stuff about Elvis that you know down your throat. Everything is nuanced in such a way that it's organic. His role is so organic in this movie. You're not thinking he's doing an impression. No, he became Elvis, and it's one of the best acting I've ever seen. Because have you heard about how he got the role? Did you hear
something about audition tape, right? Like he
did an audition, but Denzel Washington called Baz Luhrmann, and they don't know each other. Denzel Washington did a play with Austin Butler and was like, "Hey, this guy's work ethic is incredible, and you should get a meeting with him." So Baz Luhrmann took the advice of Denzel Washington and met Austin Butler because they worked together on a play. And then they started to talk for months, like 8 months they were talking before they actually gave him the role.
Wow.
And Baz Luhrmann tricked Austin Butler into doing a screen test? Because he thought they were just doing another audition process. And then he ended up shooting what is going viral of an actual performance that Austin Butler is really singing. That was staged. He was only supposed to do like a minute. And then he ended up Baz Luhrmann just walked away and had him do the whole song, and he just kept going. And that ended up is what got him the role. And I think that's a really cool story. And it's like, Tom Hanks would never. But what I'm thinking when I was watching it the second time, I just kept thinking, you know who would play a really good Colonel? Tom Parker, who is Tom Hanks' character, is John Goodman. John Goodman should play that role. Sure, he lost all the weight,
man.
But I think he's way more menacing than Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was not menacing, and I think that might have been part of it. Of you want to be able to trust this guy, but like at the same time, he's supposed to be kind of evil.
Dude, and his voice is so weird. Like, I watched an interview with the real dude because I was like, is this really what he sounds like? He sounds nothing like.
There's a biographer for the Colonel who wrote the biography for him. He's like, what the accent that Tom Hanks chose to do as like makes no sense. Like, that's coming from nowhere.
Yeah. It's coming from nowhere.
I think it's Tom Hanks's choice to be like, it's that he's from Poland or he grew up in Poland or something and changed his citizenship later. But like, that's what he decided to go with, was like a slight different. It's an accent. Like, it wasn't American. Like, I don't know what choices he made.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knows.
I feel like Baz Luhrmann was like, I don't think Baz Luhrmann was like, chill out, because he has other things to focus on. He hires actors to make their decisions. And
he doesn't pull back. That's for sure.
Tom Hanks.
Same. That's like the only thing. And that didn't even stop me from giving it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. That didn't stop me.
Because his Austin Butler's performance is just amazing. And just him and Baz Luhrmann, just, you could tell that they're going to probably do something else with each other. Yeah. They seem like they have a good working relationship. And especially because like, he just played it so well. Like, like, he wasn't over the top at all. And his singing is amazing. Like, he had the moves fucking down. Like, it's just everything about it was such a fantastic performance that I don't see anybody else topping it this year. I can't think of anybody.
There's no projects that are coming that are going to be that level at all. But that's Baz Luhrmann for you. Baz Luhrmann only comes out like once every like 6 years, and he comes out with a new movie 7 years maybe. Like, this one was, his last movie was 9 years ago. So with the Great Gatsby.
He's the Bigfoot of Hollywood.
It's amazing. I forget how good he is until I see a movie of his again. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't
you gave it a 5 out of 5?
I gave it a 5 out of 5.
What about a 10? It's not a 10 out of 10. What would you give it? A 10 out of 10? Because that's our rating is 10.
Right. I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Holy cow. Great movie. I would give it like an 8.9. Probably an 8.9, almost 9. But like I said, I am going to have it go down a little bit because Tom Hanks takes me out of it sometimes. But overall, like
Yeah,
it all gets redeemed by
that's
Elvis.
exactly.
I'm just gonna call him Elvis.
Yeah, right. No, it's his performance is so good that like it overshadows the things I don't like. The only thing I didn't like was Tom Hanks, but even then, like I didn't care after a while because like it's just I don't know. I just went with the flow with whatever Baz Luhrmann was doing. I just like he
his editing is insane. It's so good. It's like a 2.5 hour movie, and it doesn't feel no, it doesn't feel
almost
that way
3
because
hours.
you're like so into it because it's so well. It's like it's an experience. You have like it is one of those movies you have to watch in a theater. On TV, it's going to be less. I don't know. It's not as overwhelming on TV because you're surrounded by everything. But if you immerse yourself, actually, Baz Luhrmann movies deserve to be seen on the big screen. So I would give it like a 8.9. And so I saw it twice. It was good. I'm excited for the next Baz Luhrmann movie in 10 years.
Yeah, the next. Yeah, exactly.
But so that was our review of Elvis. I hope you guys tell us what you thought about it. If you saw it, if you plan on seeing it, or anything else about Elvis.